You can't write this. If someone were to write this as a comedy bit, I would say it's too on the nose.
Supporters of former President Jair Bolsonaro, who lost his bid for re-election in October, reaching offices housing the National Congress, the Supreme Court.
The greatest drug of all, okay? It's not cocaine. It's not ketamine. It's entitlement, okay? They have a level of entitlement that you will never be able to understand. They're like, what do you mean? Life has always worked for me in the way that it's supposed to. All these systems are supposed to benefit me. And if you think that that is not the case, then you're a fucking asshole. You're wrong. I'll show you. I'll show you that you're wrong. I'll even get violent. Like, this makes it funnier. Like, at least when January 6th happened, like, there was a government in session. Trump was there, and he was, like, goading people into doing something. Like, they weren't even in session. Like, the halls were emptied. I mean, if you want to understand the entitlement, yes, some cops helped them originally. And not only that, but they were also cheering on the arrival of the military right before getting arrested by them because they thought the military was there to support them. They thought it was like a coup happening because they're fucking idiots. Like, they have no way of comprehending that what they're doing is wrong. It's like a spoiled kid. That's it. It's the same shit. Oh, yeah, this was awesome. I saw this one as well. I mean, dude, come on. Come the fuck on, bro. They had a Brazilian QAnon shaman, bro. That's crazy. I mean, this is like literally just a carbon copy, bro. It's a carbon copy. This is not from the insurrection. Oh, fuck, really? I got fake news? Oh, that's a bummer. This was on a protest from a different day. Oh, really? Well, I really hope that this guy made it into the fucking fuck. That makes me sad. They want to be us so bad. I mean, it's not an accident that he's doing this, okay? Like, this did happen, just not on January 6th. This has way more drip than the American QAnon shaman. No, I mean, he is still a Bolsonaro hog. This guy is also a Bolsonaro hog. Yeah, they were hitting a horse. They were hitting a policeman on a horse. Like, they were just being fucking crazy. Where is it? Hold on. Here it is. They finally go in and arrest everybody. Bannon was involved with Bolsonaro after all. Fucking loser, dude. He was celebrating it too. And here they are now. Incredible photo taken today at the Federal Police Academy where they are interrogating insurrectionists one by one and drawing up charges for their crime.
Very disturbing scene there in Brazil.
Yeah. Biden is urged, by the way, to extradite Bolsonaro after his supporters stormed the Brazilian government buildings. That's the funniest part about this, okay? The funniest part about this is that, like, Bolsonaro's supporters, the Bolsonarista hogs, just like Donald Trump, okay? They were fucking out there throwing their bodies at a problem that they did not even realize, okay, with goals that they had no fucking, with unimaginably unattainable goals, with a organization that is, I mean, with organizational practices that was not going to be enough, with no fucking military support, some federal police support, of course, but like no military support overall. And meanwhile, while they're doing this shit, okay, what is this? Everyone at the Brazilian January 6th is going to be named Sócrates Fernandes de Baptista Minotauro Jr. Supermaninho shirts. This was in October 30th, and he unsurprised. I mean, like, I called this as well. I told you this was going to happen as well, but like, you know, it's a lock. Like, anything America does, anything the American right wing does, expect the Brazilian right wing to also do the same with the benefit of hindsight. That's the funniest part about this conversation. The most expected thing, of course, is like, yeah, they were going to do January 6th. They're a bunch of fucking idiots. They are the same dumb hogs that we have here, okay? They're stupid. They were expected to do stupid shit. But the funnier part about it is that they should have known better because they saw what happened in January 6th. Like, we're 2 years post January 6th. And they still, Dominion bed proof? Yeah. It's wild to me that we won't allow asylum seekers in with Title 42, but let the most diseased man on the planet in with no questions. Yeah. Anyway, all while this is happening, Bolsonaro is like browsing through the fucking aisles of Publix, okay, an American institution. He went to like every fucking right-wing fascist's favorite, every Latin American right-wing fascist's like favorite secret hideout, Florida, okay? And he had KFC the day before the insurrection. And while the insurrection in Brazil is happening, I believe he had to go to a hospital for stomach aches again because his stomach hurts. It's just like, you can't write this. If someone were to write this as a comedy bit, I would say it's too on the nose. And yet it happens in the real world, and it happens in the funniest fucking ways possible. Now, of course, the hogs and the hogalinas and the hogalinos, okay, shouts out to Brazil, they did this with the exact same opinions. Like, they used electronic voting machines. They weaponized the Constitution against us. How? Nobody knows. And they basically, they feel just like the American hogs do, that the election was stolen from Bolsonaro.
Steve Bannon is...
And Steve Bannon, of course, is another person who is involved in this. What is this? Explain yourself. Bro, I'm not there. Stop. Stop saying I'm there. I was not there. Another prediction. Bolsonaro survives like 8 months max in this country. This is no place for a dying man. Yeah, he is admitted to the hospital, by the way. Bolsonaro's going to every country in the world to get the worst sickness possible to test out every hospital system. It's going to be like a food tour show, but for the most sick man alive. Yep. I make so many jokes about Brazil because A, their MMA fighters have made the funniest and most outlandish excuses for losing in the history of the sport, and B, they're just America. If you swap the English soup stock with Portuguese, they're just us. Yeah, I agree. That's what I've been saying too. It's just like America, but not an Anglophile. Oh, this is also wonderful. Yeah. During the far-right storming of Congress, I guess someone was like selling cotton candy to the people there too. I mean, opportunity, man. That's opportunity. You know, Sigma Grind said, baby, never stop hustling. The hustle never stops. The hustle never stops. I mean, this is the exact same shit. Like, these guys also would sell, Trump t-shirts. Like, there is an entire industry of Trump t-shirt salesmen that made a living off of selling the ugliest fucking Trump shirts you've ever seen. Okay, you just got to. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on. Let's take a closer look at Stephen Jebediah Bannon's, takes on the matter.
Strategist who worked in the White House. He has publicly acknowledged that he advised Bolsonaro. This is Bannon.
It's literally the same. They're using the same lines, dude. Bar for bar. Verbatim. One of the main aspects of why this should happen is the governor of the federal district, the state of the Brasilia, a notorious Bolsonarista, was conniving with the riots and just did some shit when Lula name dropped him on the blame list, firing his security department's leader.
Bolsonaro is actually...
I do not understand why motherfuckers hire Steve Bannon. Like, dude, he's not teaching you anything new. Okay? He doesn't have any good ideas. He is like demonstrably a failure. He does not pass basic competency. Like, he's not this like conniving, brilliant tactician. the way that like media has like almost made him, almost presented him as, you know what I mean? He's like this shadowy figure in these, you know, behind closed doors, like figuring out how to help people do insurrection success. They hire Steve, so he's not the ugliest motherfucker in the room. Yeah. Look up any of the old commentary I've done on Brazil, whether it be like Lula's victory or, you know, many times ahead, many times before that. Brazil carbon copies are shit, okay? Yeah, like Bolsonaro could literally personally like something, but if he sees Trump hating on it, he will go and hate on it himself. He had no unique ideas, okay? I guess the only exception was like the one time where he was like, yeah, me and a 14-year-old who I assumed was a sex-trafficked 14-year-old had good vibes and we almost fucked when she invited me back to her house, which is true, by the way. That's a true story. He said he made a story like this up, basically, okay, and embellished the details where he said him and a 14-year-old were fucking flirting. The story isn't true, but he did tell it. Like, some aspects of the story are real, but it's weird that his embellishment of this story featured him kicking game at a 14-year-old and her being receptive to his cunning ways, I guess. He literally explained it as such, which makes it way fucking worse. Like, if you wanted to make up a story, why did you make one up where you were kicking game at a fucking 14-year-old, dude? What the fuck? Who you said you perceived to be a sex trafficking victim. And then these motherfuckers ride for him. Do you know about the raid on the vote count in 2000? Just curious. You mean the Brooks Brothers riot that actually stole an American election? Yes. I have talked about it many times. And the people that actually were involved in the Brooks Brothers riot, from Roger Stone all the way to like some of the legal clerks at the time, are now a part of the Supreme Court of the United States. So America has been doing that for a very long time, and they successfully did it. The person who became president, George W. Bush's brother, Jeb Bush, was the governor of Florida at the time. They literally did a riot, stopped a recount from happening, and that's it. And of course, Al Gore conceded to George W. Bush, and Bush became the president, and then did 9/11. All right, let's move on.
There is a struggle between disinformation and democracy.
No fucking shot. Oh, fake news is already out there. Bolsonaristas helped to arrest over 100 terrorists infiltrated. They were hired by the left to put blame on patriots, but patriots filmed everything. I love this, dude. I love this. It is exactly the fucking same. They're doing the same shit. They're saying, Antifado! Antifa! They have Antifa! That's not how you say Antifa in Portuguese, I assume, right? Antifado. Infiltrado. Yeah, it's like when your friend tells you to copy your homework but changes it up a little bit, but like they didn't even change it up. They just copied it, dude. They didn't even change it up a little bit. They just copied it. It's like 2 days off. That's it. Like they didn't do it on January 6th. Instead, they did it on a Sunday. That's it. It's not a Mexican accent. I'm not trying to do a Mexican accent. I'm trying to do a Brazil.
To reestablish the rule of democracy.
We'll see.
Let's not think about how like Bolsonaro got to this point. Let's not do that. Let's make no mention of like mainstream media's hyping up of Bolsonaro, presenting him as like not a fascist, but actually like a, disruptive figure, Trumpian, but like not in a bad way, but in a good way. Let's not mention America's, early on America's interest in Brazil. Yeah, all that stuff. This just materialized. Just like here in the United States of America, you know what I mean? Just like the top of the hour ad break, it just materializes. There's no fucking, lead up to it. No, like at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break, and it doesn't just come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's coming. But of course, lucky for you, there are ways you can avoid it. Okay? You can avoid it by subscribing for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay? Or you can get gifted a sub if you're lucky. I wonder how these like right-wing fascist and fascist-aligned motherfuckers who always just love Florida for some weird reason, I wonder how they get into positions of power. I wonder what networks they use to blow up their shit. Okay, BRB, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. What the fuck, man? You want to criticize journals now for pushing dangerous narratives that could have a ripple effect worldwide because it sets an example despite being an annoying year plus long committee and judiciary process afterwards, which did not deter another country from doing the exact same thing? Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe they just looked at, I guess like they probably looked at America and saw nothing really happen to the jet ski dealership owners and the HVAC owners, you know what I mean? And they were like, fuck it, YOLO. You think he went there for the KFC? Publix? No, he went there because he knew he was going to get in trouble at the moment that Lula was in power. I am Brazilian and you are 1,000% right. People love to say Lula is corrupt and shit, but all proves the corruption was fabricated or bad review by Moro. Yes. At most, Lula's involvement within like the scandals that they literally arrested him for was basically turning a blind eye to the routine corruption that was occurring in every Brazilian administration. That's it. Okay? They said he had personal involvements in the matter. It was fucking bullshit. They literally made all that shit up. And the irony, of course, is that like the prosecutor that did that was a Bolsonarista. And literally Bolsonaro himself has done infinitely worse shit, like personally. Like openly. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy how this kind of propaganda is so successful though, because people don't give a shit. They literally do not care about the follow-ups. There's no follow-up to it whatsoever. That story ended there because it fits your narrative that like Lula is a corrupt socialist, so you just want to fucking believe it. Bolsonaro said a 100-year silence on vaccine card in official presidential meetings, and Lula took it down. The guy flew away the country because he's going to come up with a lot of shit. Yeah, exactly.